much like the day that James had we were making the fish for market basket, and I said, James, what does that small print say to take the fish to cook the fish? And it said use queen-shaped plate, queen-shaped dish. So he saw that and he thought, okay, I'll just pass it on to my dad. And it got to me when he said queen-shaped dish, and I'm like, it doesn't seem right. Mm-hmm. And so I thought about it, then checked it, and then realized that it meant oven safe, not queen-shaped. But the letters were whatever. Anyway, that's what he said. I had the same thing happen today, this morning, where I was taking my walk, listening to my podcast, the No Agenda podcast this morning, taking a nice walk, nice and bundled up. My legs were bare as usual. And I was down the rich part of town and near the river, and I saw this attractive wife, out in front of her house with her dog, and I'm like, oh, great. Is this thing going to come at me, run at me? Because all dogs love to charge me these days. And she's just kind of standing out there with the dog, and I'm like, I guess it's normal that she's out there with just a shirt and pants on. It's winter, and the dog's out there with her. And so, but I keep on walking past. And then I get a call from Alice Shattuck, where I try to make sure the call goes into my headphones, and I hear somebody say, "Earthquake! Don't you see an earthquake?" And also let me know that there was an earthquake. I did not feel the earthquake. She felt the earthquake. There was an earthquake. It was 1 or whatever. And
Tommy's in the chat. He probably felt the earthquake too.
I assume so, depending on where it is. So it was near Maine and Portsmouth.
Off the coast of York, Maine, basically. So,
but it hit me again. It's like, no, it didn't say queen-shaped dish, and no, a lady's not out there with just pants and a shirt on, and her dog not on a leash for no reason. And after Alice told me this, while you were telling me this, I walked over to where she was and said, "Did you know there was an earthquake?" She said, "Yeah, it scared me to death. That's why I'm out here right now." It shook her upstairs, and she talked about how it sounded terrible, etc. And it's like, Alice, this is a sense that when you think something is weird, it is definitely weird. It's just not okay. It's like when you go into the bank and all the tellers are lying on the ground with their hands in their heads. Don't say like, "Oh, must be like hands on the head Pilates day," at the bank. Something else is up. It's a personal striving for excellence, Alice. It's a personal endeavor for both of us. Let's pick up on subtle hints.
Like earthquakes.
Yeah, like earthquakes, which of course I missed because I can't see.
This is the first time I felt one that everybody felt, and it was pretty big. It was a 4.1 earthquake. That's like pretty large, and it was fairly close to us, and I was on the 3rd floor, so I feel like that's why I felt it more, because it's magnified, from being on a higher floor. I felt it. Sally felt it, who was on the 2nd floor, and our son felt it, who did not feel it, who was on the 1st floor.
Let's not gloss over the fact, Alice. We can let people marinate in the fact a little bit that there are 3 floors, okay? Mm-hmm. We're society people.
I'm in the attic where the farmhand used to live.
We're society people Alice, with a plaque for the front of the house.
So true.
Yes, we're 3 floors kind of people now.
So true. But I definitely felt the earthquake. It sounded like, if the washing machine is like overloaded or unbalanced and it like when it tries to spin and it feels like it's going to shake the room apart. It was like that, but I mean, obviously there was no washing machine in there with me, but I've never felt like, we sometimes have those little ones and people are like, "Oh, did you feel the earthquake?" I've never felt one, but this I felt, and it was quite dramatic, and it was long enough that I was like, what is that? Oh, what is that? Whoa, the room's really shaking. Something's up. Like, it was long enough that I had a series of reactions to it.
Oh, yeah.
And I legitimately thought, like, maybe this is the house falling down, because it was loud enough and dramatic enough on the 3rd floor. And our house is not.
Oh,
like,
we talked about this one show ago.
We talked about this one show ago that our house is, like, does not feel like it's constructed like a real house. And I was like, this could be it for me in this house and all of us here. Like,
the good thing is, there's few good things, but the good thing is this house has been through a lot of those. So it's like, it's been shaken like that before.
All the stones that make up the foundation just shift around a little bit, and the floor tilts a little more in one part of the house, and it calls it a day. But yeah, it did not actually fall down, but it felt pretty dramatic, and it was quite loud. Like my computer shook on my desk, kind of like jiggled a little on my desk. It was definitely an interesting experience. It did scare me because it was long enough that I looked out the window and I was like, there's no truck coming, nothing's like what's doing this, and that I did have time to think like, is this an earthquake during it? So very exciting times. I've never felt an earthquake. It was really great.
Right. So where's that thing that Toast sent us? She sent us both something because I want to start there because it has
Twitter?
to do. Was it Twitter? The Facebook post?
Maybe she sent something on.
Or was it text?
I think it was Twitter.
Okay, Twitter.
You sent a Facebook post.
It's message. Oh, did I send us the one she sent us?
Maybe. I just have a link to Nice People of Newburyport. I don't have the actual post.
Okay. So Toast sent us something Nice People of Newburyport because okay, maybe it's over here because I don't think this is what I'm looking for.
I don't think I have it. Whatever you're talking about.
Toast, where did you send this thing?
I don't think I know what you're talking about.
She sent us
because I didn't understand the DMs that you were sending today.
Toast sent us something that was.
Maybe if it was a Facebook post, maybe it was Facebook Messenger.
Maybe it was Facebook Messenger. Let me see.
Nope, I don't see it there either. At least I don't know. This is a good show. Everybody loves to watch people.
Okay, here it is. Yes,
message.
it was Facebook.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. I swear it was on Twitter. Today's been one of those days. There's been 1,000 things.
Well, you were talking about it on Twitter, and I was like, "What is he talking about?" Because I hadn't seen anything.
Well, that's not even it. But this is a Facebook post that she sent. That's on one that some dude that she follows her on Facebook sent. And this is kind of the theme for today. It's how people are taking the election and the subsequent days since. Mm-hmm. This person named Cheryl, whatever, sends somebody else's post that says this. So Trump's been sworn in as the 47th president of the United States. What's done is done. Now, moving forward, every person that voted for him and his policies must own them. No blaming Biden, Hillary, Obama, or anyone else. If gas prices go up, own it. If the tariffs raise the cost of strawberries and lumber, own it. If your undocumented neighbor gets sent back to Mexico, own it. Own it all. The deportations, the inflation, the vulgarity, the Nazi salute by Musk, the fact that Trump didn't put his hand in the Bible as every president has done, own it. The release of 1,600 January 6 criminals that beat police officers, own it. When the stock market drops or your cost of insulin rises, own it. When school children are gunned down in the classroom by a weapon of war, this is on you.
I don't recall Biden banning those either.
Well, I didn't recall voting for that. This is on you. When your Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security benefits decrease, own it. The name-calling, bullying, the objectification of women is what you voted for. The cruelty and violence, what will occur against LGBTQ, and particularly the trans, capitalized community, own it. You voted for this, and it's all on you now, and I will be here to remind you that this is your America, not mine. So the funny thing is, I think about this is, so we've entered a new era here where it's time to own it. We have to publicly go out and own this. Once this happens,
right.
Once my trans Mexican neighbor gets deported and beaten down, I have to go own it and flog myself in front of everybody and own it. And it's funny how the world has started right now. Oh, fucking dog. Oh.
Yeah, they didn't have to own anything, obviously.
Well, that's the whole
during
point.
the whole Biden administration.
Well, it's funny because, am I entitled then to a cost of living adjustment for the past 4 years? All the inflation, all the raise I didn't get? Will they compensate me for that? Will they own that? Will they own the gas prices increase? Will they own all of the groceries that cost more?
Will they own the war in Ukraine
Will they
or
own
any
all
of
these
the Middle
illegals?
East or any of this stuff?
Will they own these illegals that their guy let in? Will they own any of these things?
No, of course not, because unlike Trump, actually, they're not results oriented at all. The only thing that matters for them is intentions, actually. And it boggles their minds that intentions can be decoupled from results. right? Like, Biden's like Mr. Nice Guy,
We're doing a good
world
thing.
leader. Everyone respects us again on the world stage. So it blows their mind, the idea that he could actually be an incompetent failure in foreign affairs, and that he hired a team of people that caused massive instability in the Middle East, in Afghanistan, in Ukraine. Everywhere that he's ever touched is falling apart because they believe in his intentions. And they believe that your intentions and my intentions are evil and wrong, and we just like to see children get gunned down. So they can't imagine that there will be a good result to the Trump presidency, even though there was 4 years ago a perfectly great result for the Trump presidency. Biden's a nice guy who cares about the working man, so they don't believe that it's possible that he could make things more expensive.
Uvalde, Texas, there was a school shooting, right? During Biden? What was the ownership that I saw the left take? Was there any ownership? Guys, I voted for Biden. It happened under him. I'm just owning this. I'm just owning this.
No, but he has good intentions.
Right, okay. So it's all, everything is forgiven.
He wanted to ban the weapons of war.
Oh, I see. Because you know what? The deer don't wear Kevlar.
Right.
Right?
Right. So he he has good intentions. So everything that happens under him either has to be good or it's not his fault.
Right. So yeah, they're totally not
Trump,
culpable for any of this.
Trump and Elon Musk and you and I all have bad, terrible intentions, and we want people to die and want prices to go up, and we want rich people to do better and poor people to do worse. And we want Putin to be more powerful. So it's impossible that Trump could make the world more stable and make prices go down and make the stock market go up.
Right. So, right. And then if you look at Ukraine again, what happened was, even though the gas prices had already shot through the roof by the time Ukraine happened, what happened was, according to them, it was the Putin price hike, because that's what the psycho clown first historic bobblehead said in the White House briefing room, because it was the Putin price hike, and that's got alliteration a little. So that is what that is, and that was Putin that did that. And so, and also, by the way, they also modeled out a simultaneous Trump reaction to the Ukraine, to the Russians' incursion into Ukraine, and they've decided that they concluded that Trump would have handled it worse.
Right.
So Trump essentially did handle the Ukraine invasion worse because they were gaming out what Trump would have done. So that was on me too.
Right.
Right. The hypothetical, what Trump would have done, which is given Russia all of Ukraine and most of the old Soviet bloc.
Which is like not even hypothetical, because Trump was president for 4 years and he didn't give Putin Ukraine.
Doesn't matter. No, they ran models.
So, but yeah, like, I mean, but that's their thing, is that they're literally not owning anything. They don't like to look at results because actually Trump's results are way better. And it's so funny, like, anyone who's serious, even like psychos who are serious people who are like elected officials and stuff, are not standing by fighting Trump. Like, did you see the thing with Maura Healey? I think I screenshotted it and sent it to us. But basically, she like walked away from trying to fight Trump on the deportations. They were in Massachusetts, did a ton of deportations, got rid of all these shady characters and criminals and whatever, just deported all of them. And, you know, she went out there to the media and they were like, everyone was like, oh, didn't you say you're going to like stop Trump from doing any of this stuff? And did she say like, yeah, I'm going to stand up for these criminals and rapists and gang members and whatever? Like, no, of course not. No. She doesn't want to go down with that ship. She knows that he's getting good results. She went out there and she said, and I'm looking for my screenshot of it, I can't find it right now, but she went out there and said, like, no, you know, there are times when people break the law. Here it is. Whether you're documented or undocumented, if you commit crimes, you're subject to investigation and prosecution and accountability, and it looks like that is what has happened. She said about Trump's deportation. What happened to you lying down in front of the deportation truck and you were going to use every tool to keep his deportation? Because she knows it's a good thing. Because she knows the results he's getting are good. He's getting rid of bad people. And Biden could have done this for 4 years and chose not to because he's a bad president, whatever his stupid intentions are and whatever these liberals' intentions are. It's like I mean, we have this conversation all the time, but it's like every city that's a mess with homeless people everywhere. It's like, well, we have a well-intentioned policy. We don't want to do anything mean to anyone, so we're just going to let them lie out here in the streets and overdose and ruin everything for everybody. They have these policies, and they feel like because their policies are well-intentioned and trying to be nice, that they're going to have good results. But the real life doesn't work that way. I'm perfectly happy to stand by the results of the Trump presidency, by the way.
Let them inject safely. We'll give them an area. Here, go ahead. Do your heroin. Do your fentanyl right there.
Go wrong?
There you go. You see? Don't deny them what they don't.
You know what? We'll just ban evictions. You know what? We'll just forgive people's student loans. Come on, what's it to you if we forgive the student loans? Like, all their policies are just, like, insane.
When Matt Walsh asked the guy what is a woman, he said, why do you want to know? We're just trying to do civilization here. We're just trying to... Why is it so important to you? Because you're doing science stuff based on all of this stuff. So now that brings me to, Alice... So this is something I can't believe that I caught this before you did, but I caught this before you did. TikTok's cute winter boots political revolution. This is from your favorite writer. Her name is Taylor Lorenz. But this is really a thing happening. These are moms of Winchester, moms of West Newbury, moms of Newburyport, moms of Melrose, moms of West Hartford. And they've gotten together now, and there's a revolution happening. As the U.S. government seeks to enact stricter controls over online speech, TikTok users are adopting more coded algo speak to criticize and resist the government. For the past 48 hours, thousands of TikTok users have been posting and sharing videos ostensibly about cute winter boots. Ostensibly.
Dun, dun, dun.
I see a lot of people on this app right now making plans to buy cute winter boots. One TikTok user posted on Thursday, but there's a lot of things that you guys are missing. Here's some safety tips for going out in your cute winter boots. By the way, wink. Another user posted, you're going to memorize your First Amendment rights because those are the rights you're exercising when you're out in your cute winter boots. The phrase cute winter boots is not about footwear. No? I thought this was like an UGG collab, with Democrats. It's a code phrase being used to discuss resistance to Trump.
Tommy, New Hampshire says, uh-oh, I better get my decoder ring out.
Right. It's a code phrase being used to discuss resistance to Trump and how to fight back against the draconian immigration policies his administration is enacting. Alex, in other words, what would cute winter boots protect you against? What's outside in winter? What's outside in winter that's cold?
Snow.
What's snow's cousin that's the water version?
Oh, ice. I see. They protect you from ice.
Uh-huh. Users talking about cute winter boots keeping people safe from ice are referencing the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. So these are the same people who are now on all these Facebook pages talk about know your rights, make sure that they have a search warrant with an attorney, and make sure that the judge has signed it. You don't have to answer questions without representation. These are people who have ordered, like, gone are the Hamas kafiyas of last year.
Mm-hmm.
This year, we're doing cute winter boots, armed militant resistance. These, 37-year-old wealthy white women are making pretend that they're out roving looking for federal enforcement agents because they're going to intervene.
I can't. It's like, do you remember in the first Trump administration, they wore safety pins to show that they were a safe person?
Oh, did they? Oh, okay. You could approach them.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I mean, that's just another version of what
for help. If you're LGBTQ and
right.
Trump wants to put you on the trains or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
It's absolutely it's amazing. Not only that, but I've noticed I just noticed some of our close friends are having to abandon. They're like this is 1939, and they're taking clipper ships to out of Poland and taking them to England or taking them to America. It's like it's not safe for us anymore. Are leaving Facebook, including some people that we knew who were really cool, although progressive cool. But now I'm leaving Facebook. If anybody needs me, DM me right now. I'm only gonna be here for 18 more hours. DM me right now, and send me your contact info, or you can find me maybe on Blue Sky. And I heard somebody else like messaged, oh yeah, she's on Blue Sky, guys. Her account's great over there. And you know, by the way, that everybody who left Facebook yesterday all decided, I'm leaving. I'm leaving too. Okay, we're all leaving. We're leaving. We're leaving. We're leaving. We're having to leave, like refugees having to, because the dark power of Sauron, the eye is upon them. They know they must leave the village now. What do you think happened the moment that earthquake happened today?
They all went on Facebook to
Sure
see
as fuck did.
if everybody else
Absolutely.
felt that.
Did anybody else feel that?
So, but do they not realize that, like, the people who were resisting Nazis or, like, other people, there weren't, like, full articles in major publications about their code words for stuff? Because if there were, then the Nazis would come kill them.
Yes.
Because for people who, like, resisted the Nazis, it was not pretend.
Well, right. Then the Nazis they were doing the real Sea Kyle thing. There was no debate. They were really doing it.
Yeah, and they said they were doing it.
Yes.
If you were like, what did you mean by that? They're like, I'm hailing Hitler like he's the modern day Caesar. Like, you know, they weren't like, no, I definitely did not mean to do a Nazi salute. They were like, yes, I'm a Nazi. That was a Nazi salute, right?
Yes.
But it's just funny because they like to do this stupid, like, pretend resistance stuff, like somebody's trying to crack down on them. And like nobody's doing anything to them.
No.
Like they're literally crying out for somebody to notice their secret code words.
Yes.
Not like trying to keep the secret code words secret so that like they don't get arrested. And it's stupid because everything with them is literally projection, because Biden's Department of Justice actually did crack down on like random parents and report them to the FBI for going to school board meetings. So if Trump did half the stuff that they did, they might have a reason to be worried. But
but also that reinforced the straw man that they built. The Biden administration and the left saw the straw man that they had built and said, let's work on that. Let's say, yes, LGBT people are at risk. Yeah, they're going to be hunted and killed. Yeah, if you're a black young man, the cops are probably going to indiscriminately shoot you because the country's so racist. The left built this whole universe where unless you manage to sneak out at all of the Truman Show's soundstage, then you've got no other. So everything's reinforcing this messaging to you.
Right.
And so it's like, yeah. So now they believe all the straw men. Yeah, we have to. We're the resistance now.
There's a genocide of trans people, you know.
Right. And it's just so interesting. So between that and actually, if you read the New York Magazine has this article, The Cruel Kids Table, among the young, confident, and casually cruel Trumpers who, after conquering Washington, have their sights set on America. And this dude, who I think is a trans person, Brock Collier, has got...
Oh, shoot, I gotta go, dude.
Oh, do you? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, you do gotta go. It's essentially this, is that they have decided that they hung around with inauguration night parties and noticed that a whole bunch of people there, the young people, you want my key?
Oh.
You want to take yours?
I'll take mine.
Okay.
I forgot that we had something.
They have noticed that the guys are very jocular, sometimes crude. The ones who they ran into, this person from New York Magazine, the ones who they ran into who were gay were like old traditional gay. Nothing interesting. No extra letters, no extra zz, none of this stuff. But they used coarse language, and the straight guys were trying to get laid, and the girls were traditionally beautiful, and everybody was like, it sounded like a Gatsby party, and there were sharp elbows, etc. The funny thing is, it was reported, and there's nothing really quotable about it because nothing happens in it. Just observations that to this trans person with the jeweled sequin dress and a beard seems weird because this person lives in an odd place. But it's not actually weird. What this means is this generation is just like Gen Xers. They're like red-blooded kind of Americans who like do things like want to hook up with people of the opposite sex and are not afraid to say things that other people might find offensive. And that's what it is. And it's like the cruel Trumpers. What they call it? the cruel kids table. It's just a bunch of kids that aren't pussies like you. That's all it is. But the attempt to make it seem so vicious. Oh my goodness, so mean, so mean. I do wish I was just here for one thing, because there's another great piece, just about from a public radio station that talks about how, by the way, they're so trying to cope that they can't take it that you're at all content with Trump. Like I said earlier, when they said you need to own it. If the price is going, you have to own it. You have to own it, whatever. There's those people who are just mad at you. Then there's the people who want to hurt your feelings and make you unsure of yourself and tell you, by the way, when Trump mentions God, he doesn't believe in the God you believe in. And by the way, your God sucks too, the Christian God. So they're trying to just go for anything they can. Right, old school gay, exactly. Yeah, I'll have to go get our, Mick has to get our, yeah. By the way, Tommy, when you say that, that's right. Oh, because Tommy, if Trump defunds NPR, I will be so freaking happy, and the left will make noise like you've never heard before. There's no reason to have an NPR anymore. There is no reason. There's no reason. First of all, the big market stations like WPUR, NYT, whatever it is, the one in New York, the big ones bill a bleep load of money. They don't need any more government money. In the smaller ones, every news market in the country now has access to news and information. You do not need them anymore. You do not need them anymore. At the very least, though, WBUR in Massachusetts should be just defund them. And it's funny because they always say, "Oh, it's not a lot of taxpayer money that we're getting." But then when you dare take it away, they're like, "Oh, dare you? How dare you?" And Ed Markey runs out there with Elmo, and we do not need to be funding any of this. The government no longer needs to be in the business of providing news, especially since they cannot do it in a fair way. All they have right now, we've got C-SPAN. Make it C-SPAN. C-SPAN is a good channel. It's raw footage. Of course, it's made a-holes out of every performative jerk-off in Congress, but C-SPAN is the raw video feed. You can do with it what you want. You're seeing this guy. You're seeing hearings. You're seeing people jump up and down in front of the cameras for hearings. Sometimes you're seeing some good stuff. But C-SPAN is there. Everybody has TikTok for the time being. Everybody has Twitter. Everybody has everything else. There are news and aggregation sites everywhere. And also, NPR is fucking far left progressive agitprop. Why do they get a propaganda channel that's government fed? It's amazing. I would love that. I would freaking love it. I would love it. Or if you can get somebody running NPR who actually has some equal time programming. Because, we're doing the conservatives. It's funny. I was going to cite Barry Weiss. She's not really conservative. She's not a psycho lefty. We're starting to mimic NPR and steal its lunch pretty good. And Barry Weiss is one of the people doing that. Megyn Kelly's show does that. It's more anything Eli Lake is on. The fact is, their ratings, NPR's ratings will crumble anyway if they haven't already. I think in Connecticut, for my time slot, we were beating them in the demo, which is unbelievable that an AM talk station beats that booming signal in Connecticut. But people have had enough of it. The people the lefties feel like they've been lied to. And so they've abandoned them too. NPR, CNN, MSNBC, all these people. Everybody's putting on those glasses that were used in the movie. They Live. That's right. That's right. Absolutely. A great movie, by the way. A great movie. Roddy Piper. And who's the guy? The guy, You Killed My Father, Prepare to Die. Yeah, you say Tucker doesn't like Barry. I don't know. There's so many factions now that I don't even know who or what. I mean, who knows? Tucker's kind of out there, too. I do like, by the way, and I've got problems with all these folks, too. I like Barry Weiss somewhat. I mean, no. I like the product. I think the product is good. I think when Eli Lake is on there, it's good. You didn't ask me for this, but like, I've got a problem with everything I listen to. Like, I like, thanks to, hey, John, how's it going? Yeah, I saw that Tucker's oldest son, Buckley, named after his brother, is press secretary for Vance. Kind of a hackish DC job, I must say. But then again, if you can get in, you should get in. I'd take a hackish DC job, obviously, in a second. But yeah, you're finding more and more that these people, two number would be EOs that should have been. Oh, executive orders? Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, my own executive orders would be all, like you said, John says daylight savings. My own executive orders would be all just my own peccadillos, like, if you go, 10 miles under the speed limit on the highway, you should be arrested. Like that kind of thing. That kind of things. Also, executive order is if you're ready to get off the plane and you've just got your carry-on bag, if you're ready to run off, all the people ready to run off have 20 seconds to clear out of the plane. So I don't like standing there with my head on the thing, stuck there, waiting for all these slow-ass people getting their luggage out of the top and just like, the plane stopped and has been docked at the thing now for 20 minutes and you're not off the plane because you're moving slow and you suck. I understand some people have a problem with people who run off the plane. I want to get off the plane. I want freedom. Okay? Oh, all right. Where are we here? Okay. Let's see what else we had. There was some other newsy stuff. Alice has been so busy with this. With her gig, which is a good gig, which of course we like, which is great. I'll be kept man very soon. Very, very soon. Let's see. Okay. Here's a good piece of audio that I saw earlier that I like. Batya Ungar Sargon, who we like and is attractive, was on with Megyn Kelly today and reacted. Obviously, the left is saying that all the immigrant deportations are all racist, whatever. It's all racism because that's all they can say. Here is Batya Ungar Sargon countering that.
The fact that the media is trying to run the 2016 playbook and sitting there weeping and in tears over murderers and rapists, it's falling so flat, especially in light of what you just said, Megan. Your mom was one of millions of Americans who were Democrats a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 15 years ago, who have found in the MAGA movement specifically a home, this glorious multiracial, multi-ethnic working class coalition, thanks to Donald Trump and honestly Steve Bannon, who played a huge role in this, in explaining to people what was happening here, that this is not white nationalism, this is nationalism, this is love of country, this is regular folks, not fancy folks, average hardworking people who have been screwed over again and again and again, put last again and again and again, and then smeared as racists for daring to want a better future for their children. This is who Donald Trump represents. And because of this glorious coming together on November 5th, it is no longer possible for the media and the Democrats to get away with lying on him and smearing him. When they lie about him, they are lying about the American people. And the American people know that. So they just can't get away with it anymore. We're really about to enter a glorious new golden era of unity and common ground and coming together around common sense values that this country was built on. The idea that you owe something to your neighbor first, that we owe something to our citizens. It has to mean something to be an American. You can't just give that away to rapists and murderers from Colombia and expect the American people to just take that. We're done with that.
Damn straight. Whew, I like her. Bannon was on fire with Megyn Kelly today. I haven't heard him there. But it's funny that Bannon is so mainstream now. The world is so different now. Yeah, Bannon was on ABC last week. They're having ABC and all these places are having to eat bleep and talk to guys like Bannon, like Jack Posobiec, all these people who they always called fringe, etc. They're now having to beg and implore them to save their stations. Really, I freaking loves it. I love it. I absolutely love it. Let me see if there's anything else I wanted to get to before we get to the chat. Yeah, if there is a chat, I don't know. You don't want to hear them saying, okay, yeah, migrants took shots at Border Patrol agents today. They didn't hit any.
The fact that the media is trying to run
DOJ officials involved in prosecutions of Donald Trump have been fired. Of course, they should be, obviously. A special project has been launched to investigate prosecutors who charged J6 defendants with felony obstruction offenses. Absolutely. We should vet the crap out of that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Of course, they're acting in the media like, so, this is not normal. He's actually weaponizing the Justice Department. F you, lady. Don't even try at this point. Don't even try. You did everything you could. Everything you could. And speaking of what Batya Ungar-Sargon was just saying, Bill Malugin reported one of the illegals recently arrested by ICE Boston is a Dominican man who beat his pregnant wife to death in front of their child. He was paroled last month by Massachusetts Parole Board after serving 17 years of a life sentence. Yeah. F you Democrats, you sick Fs. They're like, I've got zero time for this crap. Zero time for this crap. There's another story about this dude who joined the military just for the gender affirming care. F you. Transgender Minnesota state rep says banning transgender service members from the military will only make our military less ready. F you. Enough of your psychotic voices. You're psychos. We are done. DUN with you. That's it. And by the way, everybody has swung towards Trump's positions and stuff. The American people are gung-ho for this deportation stuff. They love it. They love it like they loved Survivor, in 2002. Okay. Are you ready? Let's go to the chat. Yeah, where are you? Are there any chat? I haven't seen this. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. Taste of... We see we've got some Taste of Boston medicine messages. All right.
Hi, Alice and Tom. It's Jennifer.
Hi.
From beautiful Lawrence, Mass.
Beautiful.
I hope you guys are doing well.
Sure.
Love the show. I just wanted to pop in and say, Tom, you said Mission of Burma, and that struck a chord with me. Loved those days, Mission of Burma, Berlin Airlift.
Wow.
The Atlantics, going to the Channel and Bun Ratties.
My goodness. Which became Local 182, which is now something different, it's very important. We had the episode about Maggie. She was in college then at BU. Me and my friend, everybody loved her because she was beautiful. And she took us to Bun Ratties then to see a band I'd never heard of, but we just went because she wanted us to go. A band called Weezer. And they came out and the crowd started taunting them. Like, you look like some nerd I went to junior high with, dude. And like everybody was drunk and yelling at Weezer. And then Weezer played and shut the place up quickly. It was freaking awesome.
Went to the Oxford Ale House where we were most assuredly assured of getting laid that night.
Jesus, Jennifer! What is this? I'm gonna have to send it to Alice. My goodness. What is this? This is something totally, my goodness. Okay, share. How do I share this with Alice Shattuck? Let me see. Link to Alice Shattuck. Bye, Jennifer. Link to copy. I'll just send this to Alice really quickly. Hold on. All right, you're in trouble now, Jennifer. Oxford Ale House. Okay, I apologize to everybody for working blue tonight. Blame it on Jennifer.
And that was very important. Good times. I was in Winchester the other day and saw the Little Red Barn. And it looks like a barn, but it's down the street from Burger King, which is an anomaly in Winchester, right?
Yeah. The Red Barn, that's the dairy barn. Yeah. That was next to Bellino's and Pampered Pet Shop, where I worked when I was 13. Yeah. The dairy barn. My brother and I, we won't get into how we've had to talk to our therapist about the dairy barn. The kids at Trezaskis, they were Greeks family, owned the dairy barn. and we went to high school with both of those, the son and daughter. They were great people. Yeah, that is the underside of Winchester. I have had people from Winchester yell at me before for grading the parts of Winchester. I am immune. I have diplomatic immunity. That was then more of the underside of Winchester. It was not the west side with all the beautiful mansions. That was a little more ethnic down there. But my dad lived there. My parents were divorced. My dad lived in the Parkview apartments. So there you go. So I am one of you. I am a humble person.
Right? We think they have a Burger King, but
I know we didn't have that when I was coming up.
yeah, it's down the street from Burger King, and I was down that way.
Yeah, I guess is that, what's that street? Is that Washington Street maybe up there, or is that Washington Street the other one? Anyway,
just wanted to pop.
But if you taken a right, of course, off of Swanton Street, you would have headed down into a place where me and a friend almost got jumped, called Bill and Bob's. I know there's a few of them in Massachusetts, but that was tough because Woburn kids were there. That's when Woburn was a hellhole trash heap, and now Woburn is something that I can't afford if I sold 10 of my houses.
In and throw my 2 cents in. Don't really like AOC. Her venom, spitting that venom. She is obnoxious. Don't like her.
I understand that, Jennifer. But I have special reasons for making an exception for her, based on she also went to BU.
And hello to all the burn barrel intelligent people. I learned so much from you. That's it. Stay well, stay warm.
Thank you, Jennifer. Appreciate it. Thank you. Great message. Shocking, by the way, shocking revelations about your 1970s and 80s and maybe 90s about these. That one where you went for, where you said get laid. Where was that one? I'm not sure. I don't. That one predates me. I think it predates me.
Tom, you're becoming completely delusional, and I don't know what to do at this point. And Alice, I don't want to save this for the food show because Tom never does them anymore.
Oh, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. It's a little difficult. I've got to listen to see if the baby needs me, if he's right next door, if I'm doing the food show.
But bagels are great when they come from a bagel shop. I'll give you Pepperidge Farm, Thomas's, Lender's, Market Basket being rubbish. But if you go to New York, the bagels there are out of this world. Locally, if you go to Bagel World, they're absolutely enjoyable.
I saw there's a Bagel World in Reading, Mass. I went there like 10 years ago, and there was a line of people waiting to get bagels, and I was like, Alice, there's no effing way we're waiting in line for a freaking bit of dense bread with a hole in it. No way. Bagels are fine. I just made a bagel. I'll probably have a bagel tonight because I made some for my son who's been homesick and he couldn't really get through eating it. Bagels with lox are wonderful things. Wonderful things. My point was that there was a bagel sandwich. And a bagel is not a good thing to make a sandwich for. Like bagel with sausage, egg, and cheese and all that stuff. Why? Why would you have a huge cavernous hole in the middle of a sandwich? That should be illegal. There's an executive order right there.
But all bagels are not hockey pucks. Oh, Tom, you're killing me, buddy.
No, Steve, that is... It makes no sense to eat something where the consistency of the bread is stronger and more dense and harder than the consistency of the meat. All that means is you're going to lose the meat. I mean, you're better eating... If you're going to have a bagel with sausage, egg, and cheese and all that stuff in the middle of it, you might as well just put it on a plate and cut it and eat it like that. Because it's not a sandwich. Can't do this work of a sandwich.
Tom, I believe his name is Tony Bobulinski, not Babalugi.
Oh, what did I say?
But Babalugi is actually Sicilian for periwinkle. So you got that right. I'll give you that.
Is that true? And a periwinkle is like a mussel, right? We decide that? That's what that is, a periwinkle? I'm never even sure anymore. Yeah. But, yeah. I forgot what his name was. Do you guys get like this? Where as the night goes on, your battery just gets depleted, And then, like, sometimes by the end of the show, and I'm not saying, I know that you're going to attribute it to drugs and alcohol, which that is not true. I actually am not on any drugs. I do enjoy a happy dad sometimes during this show. But, no, just towards the end of the day, I'm like, my battery just goes way absolutely down. Thank you, everybody. Too bad my little friend Albie Shattuck couldn't join us for the rest of the show. I'll try to remember that topic for next time. Please do keep following us on all the things we do. I'm trying to do more food shows. Right now, I'm to one a week because it's just tough. I want to do more, believe me. It's a totally different thing just doing it alone. I've got to have a bunch of stuff set up and have it all set. I got to make sure the baby's all set. Sometimes it's just me and the baby, so it's tough, but I'll get better, I promise.
C'est la vie.